But let me just talk about what is happening right now. So today is the 25th of December 2025. Merry Christmas. Of course, when you're listening to this episode, it would not be Christmas, but I hope you are having a good year and you celebrated your Christmas very, very well. I've been doing some reflections on what Christmas has been like in recent years. Christmas has not been the same since I left university. Every 25th December, I'm at work. And I would say it's a fault of mine because maybe, let's say, I started working 2023. The December of scratch that. I started working 2022. Immediately I left university, I found this radio station and started volunteering. And of course, on 25th December, nobody sent me after eating Christmas rice and everything. I was just like, there's one or two things I need to do at work. Let me just do it. And, the radio station is not far from my house. So it was very easy to just walk out from my house and pop into the studio. That happened. I was okay with it. Then 2023 December, I spent it in my auntie's house. It's the first Christmas I've spent away from my immediate family. That's from my parents and siblings. And I can remember I was feeling a lot of nostalgia because Christmas is Christmas with family. Christmases because of family, if that makes sense, right? So that happened. Then 2024, that's last year, was when I finally saw my parents after staying in Kaduna for the longest time. So I went to Kaduna for NYSC in the year 2023. And I did see them throughout 2023, entering into 2024. So it was almost like 2 years of not seeing my parents at the longest time ever. So the December of 2024, I came back to Anambra, spent the Christmas with my parents. But guess what? On the 25th of December, I'm very certain that I was at work. I came in to record one or two things. I've even forgotten what I came to record, but I was at work. And today, 2025 December, Christmas, I'm at work. The reason why I came to work was because the MD of the radio station asked me to do a commentary. So I just debuted on TV. Yay! The thechinwendu. Please, if you can add some whoop whoop here, that would be great. I know it will be stressful, but just add it. Because we just made our debut into TV. Okay, I'll be posting some of the clips on social media. So he said I should do, live commentary on TV. I did that, and then I also did for radio. And of course, because of hashtag Bet on Yourself this year, 2026, I brought out some work to do. That is, to edit some podcast episodes. And that is the reason why I'm recording this episode today. So, aside from the fact that I work on Christmas now because of media, another thing that has been weird about Christmas since the year 2022 is Harmattan. Believe you me, Harmattan was one of the things that made Christmas. That presence of rough skin, of dryness, of ain't nobody lips clacking. Ain't nobody's lips cracking no more. Nobody's lips is cracking anymore because there is no Harmattan. People's skins are no longer dry. Vaseline is Vaseline because of Harmattan. Nivea has a whole promo about Harmattan. And I'm wondering how all these brands are faring now because people are no longer applying petroleum jellies or creams because there is no need because it is hot. Even in the studio while I'm recording right now, it is mercilessly hot, right? So most of those promos are redundant now because we don't need them. We need to breathe. We need air. Ebini just sushiko. Hey, there was one in Igbo my brother spoke about this heat. That heat na soya. My if you na soga. Pistol and mortar when you are if you are very Nigerian and you are pounded yam or akwu for banga soup or ofa or banga stew. The way you pound that in, that is what he said heat was doing to him. Heat is so mad. That is exactly what this Christmas has been. And the last Christmas, last year, was exactly like this. It's just that it became more, it is more intense now. I'm just like, oh my God, if nobody understands what climate change is, this that is happening right now is a very good example of climate change. And that is why everybody should be interested in it, because at some point, drought could set in, intense dryness, intense humidity will set in, and people could die from, the intense heat wave. Jesus, last week was so terrible, was so bad. I could not sleep at home. I was just like, what? And then NEPA. Hey, NEPA, I don't go better for that. NEPA. It was in that week that it was very bad. Like, I have rashes at my back now. Do you know what it means that you take your bath, and as you're stepping out of the bathroom, trying to dry your body, you can feel the water turn hot. You can feel it turning into, heat. You can feel it. You just finish showering with cold water. I say, nah, this is not the life we're meant to be living. So really, one thing that has changed about Christmas is the lack of Harmattan in recent years. Maybe people in Kaduna, you guys are enjoying. People in the northern part of Nigeria, they are enjoying. But I am so sure that the first Christmas I spent in the north. Okay, let's do it like this. I came to Kaduna 2023 and the Harmattan was still there. Harmattan ends March. January, February, April. January, February, March. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Harmattan is meant to end March, but when I came in April, Harmattan was still there. But at that same time in the year 2024, let's say Harmattan did not even reach March in Kaduna. Harmattan stopped like February. And that is to show you that even the regions that have like really extreme weathers, like when it's cold, it is cold. When it's hot, it is hot. Things are also changing there. The cold is not colding. I know that even before I came back to Anambra, around November 2025 in Kaduna, November in Kaduna is meant to be very cold. Like, your bone chilling cold. Like, you cannot breathe cold. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it is meant to be very cold. November was still very hot. Maybe early in the morning it will be cold. Then in the afternoon. Hey! In the afternoon. That's how the sun will just make an appearance and everywhere will just be cold. Everywhere will just be hot for no reason. So the absence of Harmattan has really changed the face of Christmas. And it is really, really worrisome. It is troubling. Very, very troubling because, dang, that was what made Harmattan. That was what made Christmas. The cold. The cold was one of it. It was one of the things that excited people about Christmas. The third thing that has changed about Christmas for me was going to the village. I am from Eziani in Ihiala, Anambra State. And I know that for the first 16 years of my life, at least, like from age 0 to 16, without missing it, I and my parents thought it was blasphemy, thought it was abomination to celebrate Christmas in a place that is not our village. We even used to insult the people that celebrated their Christmas in the place they have stayed all through the year. We have a name for them. It is called Anabotu. Iwonya Anabotu. That is, the land is the same. I refuse to bear that title, Anabotu, because I have a village And I'ma travel to it when it's time for the Christmas period. Since the year 2020, we haven't really traveled to the village for Christmas. And the one time that we decided to travel for Christmas, which was last year, so we didn't travel for Christmas, we decided to travel for the New Year. Because some of my uncles from the abroad will be coming back at that time. So we decided to take it to January 1st. So when January 1st, we carried our bags, we went to Ihiala. Tell me why we were running back to Onitsha. That is where we live. On the 2nd of January. If you have stayed in Nigeria long enough, you know the answer to that question. And if you know what is happening in Ihiala, you will know the answer to that question. Insecurity, banditry, unknown gunmen. Apparently, they kidnapped one of my uncles, not my immediate uncle, my auntie's husband was kidnapped in Ihiala on the day that we came. So the one time that we decide to make an appearance again to this one place that has held so much memories for us throughout Christmases that we've ever celebrated in our lives. It is evil that we meet. So Christmas has stopped becoming Christmas because of insecurity and banditry. My mom was even saying that this year, 2025, is the highest year that since like 2022, since like 2020, I think COVID-19 was one of the things that, started, created that thing in people's mind that we can actually stay in our house and do Christmas without going to the village, right? That since 2020, 2025 is the first year that a lot of people have decided to go back to their villages. And a testament to that is the roadblocks you see around the Abuja-Lokoja road. My cousins, I haven't seen in a long time. I think the last time they came back was 2018. They came back this year, 2025. I was like, okay, people are growing the balls to come back. And 2025 was the year that we had like insecurity mess ups in this country. But still, people decided to travel. And I think I read a post on social media when someone was saying that the reason why Lagos has turned into this, why Dirty December is a thing now, and IJGBs make Lagos their home base when they come to Nigeria. And there is, the whole traffic, Obule is a thing, Oncho is a thing. It's because of insecurity. Because before, Lagos used to be empty during the Christmas period. I've never been to Lagos. I've never been in Lagos during the Christmas season, but I can talk about my place, Onitsha. By 25th December, Onitsha is totally rid of people. If you go to Christmas Mass in Onitsha, for my church, St. Stephen's Parish, if you go to the church on Christmas Day in the past years, one person can take a row of seats. One person per one row of seats, per one pew. Me, I went to church yesterday. I sat on the ground because everywhere just choke. Last year too, everywhere just choke. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, what are you people doing here? You don't have villages to go to? I'm from Ihiala, and Ihiala is like the only village or the city in Anambra that is facing unknown government. That's a lie, but I mean, our own is the most reported. Before in Onitsha, like, my estate if you drop in, you will hear it because nobody is around. Now everywhere just filled to the brim. If you wanted to kutome, like breathe a little in Onitsha, it was during the Christmas period. I'm talking about my own part of Onitsha, like the federal housing estate. It was during the Christmas period because nobody was around. In fact, the compound I'm staying in, only 2 or 3 persons out of 34 people that stay there, 32 traveled. And excuse you guys, what are you people still doing here? Insecurity. So Lagos is overly populated at this time because everybody's staying back in their home. Nobody's coming back. Because is it worth it? You know, the roads are no good. Insecurity is bad. Is at its like skyrocketing. And these are the things that have kind of like sucked life out of Christmas. Because Christmas was all about plaiting new hair. I mean, let's not go to the spiritual side, but you know, the oblé part of it, before oblé became a thing. Christmas was all about making new hair, buying the best clothes, making chin and meat pies, buying biscuits, drinks, cakes, you know, buying stuff that everybody's going to, you know, enjoy, tayariono, cook food, travel, meet with your grandma and your grandpa, meet with your cousins. Jesus, like, the Christmas was the time for family reunion. Was the time you met your cousins. I can't think of any other celebration or any other point in the year where we met cousins, where we did like sleepovers with our cousins. It was the Christmas period. And one thing I'm grateful for, yes, it is a curse and a blessing, because I know that right now we could be doing so much better. But one thing I'm grateful for is that I got to experience that, at least for 16 years. I got to experience going back to the village constantly, you know, plaiting good hair, eating great food, taking Christmas pictures, going back to grandparents, going back to meet cousins, throwing knockouts, seeing the masquerade on the road, running, playing, strolling with cousins on the road, going to church together. Hey, all those things are na. Kai. Because now, it was something I mourned, and I'm still mourning, around 2023. It was something I deeply mourned, because one family member is in Abuja, one is in Port Harcourt, one is in Lagos, one is in Canada, one is in Los Angeles, one is in Texas. They're just in different places. And even the cousins that were in the country, it's only I and my family, like when it comes to the other family, it's only I and my family that are still the complete people. Like nobody have jabbed. But every other of my family members, my extended family, at least those that I celebrated Christmas with, those ones that came back to the village, almost all of them have jabbed. And because they are looking for greener pastures, they want to study abroad. And it's just like, you see how Nigeria can happen to someone. And Bolanle Olukani was saying it in her Instagram page that, December was here. She was driving past her sister's workplace, and she started reflecting on the days that she will pick her sister up from work and they will celebrate the Christmas together. But now her sister is in Canada. I don't even know whether it's Canada, but she said her sister is no longer in the country. Her sister, migrated. And it's like, oh my God. Can Nigeria just Nigeria for once? Like, Nigeria in a good way for once. So, I don't know about you. What is missing in your Christmas? What is missing in your Christmas celebration? What was it like before, and what is it now? What are you doing personally to make it better? I think that's one thing we should all look forward to, Because somebody answered on X. Somebody tweeted, Christmas no longer feels like Christmas. And another person quoted him, retweeted, and said, yes, it doesn't feel like Christmas. And that is why I have decided to create what Christmas should be like for me. So yes, we can't travel. There's insecurity. There's traffic. The economic situation is bad. But we can find a way around it to still make it about joy, about love, about sharing, about caring for the people that we love, about spending time with the people that we love. Yes, you cannot buy chicken because chicken is freaking expensive. There is fish and there is meat. There is a way to prepare it and it's still stellar. Right? So my question to you today, and I would love for you to answer it. What was Christmas like for you before? And what is it like now? How did you celebrate your Christmas? And are you making any intentional effort to make Christmas beautiful again for you? And if you are, what are you doing? Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Ordinary, the podcast. I've been your host, Chinwendu, the girl with the sizzle and burn. Thank you so much for being here. Help me like, share, subscribe, tell another person about this episode. Post it on your stories or your status. Help me carry this business on your head, okay? Thank you so much. And may the good Lord bless you. Happy New Year to you. And see you tomorrow. Bye.